Hello and welcome to Hail Trace's Hail Forecast video. This is a video for the dates of April 7th through April 9th, where we are expecting the possibility of some pretty significant hail across parts of the plains. So let's go into the forecast. We're going to start out by taking a look at the forecast for Sunday, April the 7th. And this is a day that a lot of the severe weather looks to be out to the really across parts of northern Oklahoma and a large chunk of Kansas. Now, this is going to happen more than likely late in the evening on Sunday evening. Thunderstorms should develop across the Oklahoma Panhandle, northwest Oklahoma, and southwest Kansas. And as we move through the evening, those storms should move off to the east and possibly the southeast. The largest hail we are expecting to occur across parts of northwest Oklahoma, southwest Kansas for now, and we'll kind of jump into that forecast for the hail size here in just a bit. But it does look like the chance of hail is not real great, but we'll go about a 20% chance of hail up towards Hays, about a 10% chance of severe hail around Kansas City, 15% chance of severe hail in Wichita, 10% towards Tulsa, and we'll do a 5% as far south as Oklahoma City. Now the hail size, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated and with this forecast. So the possibility for very large hail will exist all the way down to around I-40, where hail really up to the size of baseballs will be possible. But we expect thunderstorms may not even develop that far south. But if they do, the threat will be there for baseball-size hail. And that threat will continue all the way up towards Dodge City, Kansas, and Hays and Ness City. Very large hail will be possible. Now, as the thunderstorm complex moves off to the east overnight, and this will be a late night event, we expect the possibility of quarter to potentially as large as golf ball size hail to continue across an area where the warm front is, and that'll be right along the Oklahoma-Kansas border. And you can see how we have that nose of the red kind of depicted north of Tulsa. So that'll be an area that we'll be watching overnight for the potential for some additional large hail. And if that happens, we will be there to plot that as well. Now, up further north towards Kansas City, possibly as large as quarter-size hail will be possible with that complex of thunderstorms if it's able to develop, and we'll watch that as well. But again, the largest threat of hail should be down to the south, closer to the warm front, where we have a little bit better wind shear and some better instability in place for some larger hail. So let's go ahead and jump onto the forecast for Monday, April the 8th. And again, another day similar to what we have for the setup on Sunday, but we're expecting a larger area. So you notice we have expanded the map out a little bit. But also notice that we've gotten rid of the severe hail likely. So we do expect the cap is going to strengthen even more on Monday. And there's a potential that thunderstorms may not really be able to develop. But the most likely area will be up across Kansas and then down into western Oklahoma, where we'll have some convergence along the dry line. And again, the best chance will be across Kansas, where we'll have that warm front as well, which will produce a little bit of extra lift, but wouldn't be surprised to see a few thunderstorms develop as far north as Minnesota. I know that's hard to believe with all the cold weather that we've had across Minnesota, but don't be shocked to see some small hail up in that region. So let's go ahead and jump into the hail sizes for Monday. The potential is there for some pretty significant hail, and actually we'll do your chances of hail. So Rochester, Minnesota, about a 5% down towards Omaha, and we'll do a 10% in Wichita and a 10% in Oklahoma City. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the hail size across the area. So we've got a large area where we think hail up to quarter size would be possible, and that includes areas up around Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska. And then it's definitely a very conditional threat across Kansas and Oklahoma in the fact that we may not have any thunderstorms develop. But if they do, the threat will be there for some very, very large hail. We've highlighted an area where we think that softball size hail will be possible if the storms can develop. Along with that softball size hail will be winds of 70 to 80 miles per hour possible. So again, some wind-driven hail will be possible, and even a few isolated tornadoes will be possible if storms can develop. Again, the chance of storms developing right now, we're only setting it at about 10%, with that highest threat being over southwest Kansas as it stands right now. Now we'll continue to monitor that threat, and we'll do future updates on our hail blog for Monday if the threat does appear to go up, because conditions will be favorable for very large hail if they can develop. Dive on in now to Tuesday's forecast, April the 9th. Again, another hail threat will be possible. Now everything kind of shifts a little bit further to the east as we head into Tuesday. So we've highlighted this area as a possibility, again, for isolated hail. Now we're going to be watching two potential rounds of thunderstorms on Tuesday. The first would be in the late afternoon and early evening. Thunderstorms we expect to develop across Nebraska, and there's a chance that they could fire down south as far south as the Red River. The chance of that right now, we're going to do about a 15% chance all the way down the line from Des Moines to Omaha, down to Kansas City, Wichita, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City. So the chance is there, but again, we don't have a lot of confidence in the fact that thunderstorms may develop, especially as you get down towards Wichita, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City with this first round of thunderstorms. What will happen as this round of thunderstorms, if they are able to develop, the hail size could potentially be, again, very large. So softball size hail would be possible if those thunderstorms can develop. 70 to 80 mile per hour winds and isolated tornadoes will also be possible. But again, very large hail is possible, but the chance is very small that thunderstorms would develop. Now, the second round of thunderstorms that we'll watch would also be along the cold front. That'll happen late overnight, 10 o'clock or later across Oklahoma and parts of North Texas. And with that area, again, quarter-size hail would probably be the largest. Wouldn't be shocked if there was a couple areas that maybe get some golf ball size hail, but more than likely, due to the fact that it's along the cold front, forcing will be pretty strong, and we expect a linear system or a squall line to develop, which really limits the size of hail. And so most of that will be in the pea to nickel size, with some quarter, and then maybe an isolated golf ball, especially if a storm can isolate itself for a little while. So that'll be what we'll be watching on Tuesday. Now, all this area will actually shift off to the east as we head into Wednesday. And we will be watching an area further east on Wednesday, but we'll have more on that forecast in a later forecast. So, again, we hope you Hail Trace Hail Forecast. This is Derek Klein, and if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call. We'd love to chat with you about the hail forecast in your area. Have a great